What's up, you guys? Scott here. So in today's video, I'm going to answer a very common question, which is, Scott, how do you deal with resistant hypnosis and coaching clients? Or worse off, how do I deal with people that are skeptical? Like, Scott, I've done a strategy call. Someone has paid me, but now I'm finding out they're actually skeptical about hypnosis. They're not sure if they can even be hypnotized. And now I'm not sure if I can actually work with this person. Do I give a refund? What do I do? How do I get myself out of this mess? So that's what this video is going to be about, guys. We'll look at it from a hypnotic level, and we'll also look from it as a business level as well. And I'll show you a couple of things you can put into place inside your business system that will stop attracting skeptical and resistant clients as a therapist and a coach. I'm also going to give you guys access to a free training. It's just in the description, which will show you how to work with very resistant clients as a hypnotherapist or a coach. Go check that out. That's free for download. That's in the description. But let's get into this video for now, guys. Let's go. So the examples I'm going to give you guys is based off what happened to me. So there was really two parts of my hypnosis career, especially when I was trying to build a business, not exactly just as a therapist, learning how to be a better therapist, but learning how to grow my business. There was really two equal portions. Just like most, at the very start of my career, I was under the assumption, because that's the way I was taught, to sell hypnosis, to sell sessions, to talk about hypnosis, and really everything was hypnotherapy based. So when I went to sell this thing called hypnosis, that's when I noticed I started to get objections. And the objection we're really talking about today is like the skepticism, like, will this work for me? Can I be hypnotized? All the normal hypnotherapy objections. It wasn't until I switched everything that I did and I realized that it didn't have to be this way, was the second portion of my career, which was the more of selling of results. So pulling this all into what I'm talking about today is understanding this idea around, well, Scott, what happens if a client or a potential client is skeptical about hypnosis? How do you deal with it? When is the best time to deal with it? So on and so forth. So I'm going to split this up in two things. So off to the left-hand side here, like most, is where most people are going to start. And it's quite interesting that that's where most of the objections happen for me as well. So when I was selling hypnosis, that's when I was getting the hypnosis objections, which was, will this work for me? I don't know if I can be hypnotized. Am I going to stay in hypnosis? What happens if I can't get out? I'm too smart to be hypnotized. That's what I've heard from other people, the normal hypnosis objections. But with that as well, not only was I getting that objection, I was also getting the objection of price, guarantee. Like, price is like, this is too expensive. Can I get it cheaper? Or I know another hypnotherapist around the corner from you. Why are you $1,500 and this guy's $100? What's the difference? Then the guarantee objection, which was, what's the guarantee for this? How do I know hypnosis is going to work? Quit smoking, so on and so forth. And ultimately, it was really the hidden objection of, what, Scott, I'm shopping around. I'm going to go elsewhere. So what it really made me believe, and this is really a generalization, but I think it rings a lot of truth, is if someone's asking about a guarantee, they're asking about price objections, the guarantee objections, this really lets me know a lot about this person. Not only are they not the right client that I want to be working with, because it just makes working with these types of people so difficult, and it really takes the fun out of the business as well. I realized that they're really skeptical about this thing called hypnosis. And look, we can't blame them. There is so much literature, movies, documentation to say that hypnosis is mind control and all those sorts of things, the stage hypnosis issues, all of those sorts of things. Now, at the time, I didn't really have a lot of choice. I had to work with these people. Now, I realized to myself, well, maybe this is what it's like. Maybe I'm going to be dealing with these objections for the rest of my life. I guess I best get good at covering these objections. What can I say if they say this? How can I overcome this? And I spent a lot of time role playing. If they said this, I'd say that. And it was becoming a really big issue. So if you are starting to notice the skeptical objections of, will hypnosis work, and the guarantees, I guarantee it's because you're selling the thing they're worried about. Think about that. It seems logical. If they're coming up with objections, it's because you're selling the thing they're scared about. So it's only natural that these objections are going to come out. So it's not until you make this switch, guys. And if you want to know how to make the switch from selling hypnosis and dealing with these objections in comparison to what you want to be doing, which is a hell of a lot easier, which is selling results, you'll notice the objections started to go away. So I noticed when I made the switch to selling results, because I realized that's all clients cared about, the hypnosis objections went away. The skepticism went away. The shopping around went away. The price objections went away. So at the same time of getting rid of the thing people are scared about, all of the objections that were frustrating me as a business owner went away as well. But let's look more into this. So we know that selling results, we know that if a client wants to quit smoking, the result is they want to be a non-smoker. And I quickly realized that the more I focused on what the result will be, I never really had to talk about hypnosis or never really had to talk about coaching. I believe it's really looking at it this way is my clients expected me to use something to help them quit. And when I got better at understanding that, my content got better, my strategy calls got better, my surveys got better, stuff I'll talk about in a moment. I noticed that the last thing on my clients' mind was hypnosis or coaching. There was a massive part of my career where I don't even know if my clients knew I was using hypnosis. Now, I understand as well, depending on how you're trained as a therapist or a coach, sometimes hypnosis is going to be very obvious based on the way you're trained. I wasn't trained in that type of traditional stuff. So I guess the hypnosis I was using was really almost invisible. People really didn't know when I was starting, when I was stopping, if I was using hypnosis or coaching. But all in all, I know they didn't care because they never asked the question. So first thing you want to start to do, guys, and it's a must, if you're dealing with objections, realize it doesn't have to be that way, nor should it. You want to start look at selling results. So furthermore on this, let's look at the survey, the strategy calls, and the content, because it's going to help you even more. So if you're noticing you're getting objections with somebody, let's say you are doing a strategy call or you're doing some sort of clarity call, you want to make sure that maybe you've got some type of questionnaire or question in your survey that will tell you about what's happening inside your client's mind. So you want to make sure you have a survey, not necessarily saying in the survey, have you had hypnosis before, which again, wouldn't be a bad question to ask, to find out where is this person at in their thinking when it comes to this thing called therapy and coaching and hypnotherapy. Have they had it before? Was it bad? Was it good? Was it neutral? What are their thoughts around it? And if you see on your survey, if you ask that specific question and the survey question comes back as, I've had it before, it didn't work, I'm not sure this is going to work for me, don't take the call, because this is going to be a lot of time and effort for you to have to deal with that big objection. Now, sure, if you want to go for it, fantastic. But I guarantee it's going to be a lot of work, and the potential of your client saying yes at the end of it is going to be quite slim. So you want to try to avoid those people altogether. Then if they somehow sneak through the survey, and all the survey questions are great, you do the call, there's a point in the strategy call you want to be asking or answering any questions that make you think, hang on, this person's almost hinting to me that they might not believe in hypnosis. They may be a little bit skeptical. If you start to notice that, and again, you'll pick up on these cues, they're more of an unconscious cue from your client. You'll pick this up more the more experience you get doing strategy calls. If you get a sense that this person is a little bit skeptical, a little bit standoffish about maybe hypnosis, or it seems like they want to ask me a question about how I'm going to help them, ask that question, okay? I always like the Ericksonian phrase, and my mentor used to tell me this as well. It's like, always ask the question that you know you want to ask, but not sure you should. Be very direct with this question. If you get a sense that your client's trying to, pick your mind about hypnosis or really curious about how it works, ask them that question. Hey, have you had hypnosis before? What are your thoughts on it? What was your experience? Yes, no, neutral, whatever it is. Ask those questions. Even when you're doing the when you're doing the strategy call, don't just talk at your client. If it feels natural to bring up a question like, hey, have you had any type of therapy before? Because I'm going to be using parts of hypnotherapy, using some type of coaching to help you overcome smoking, lose weight, anxiety, whatever it is. Have that generalized conversation, okay? Lastly is your content. And I'm always under the assumption, I talk about this a lot, content solves 99% of business problems. If you're getting the wrong people on the strategy call, it's probably because your content sucks. If you're getting people with too many objections, it means your content hasn't answered those objections. If you're getting people that once they've paid you are sitting in your office and are still unconvinced that you're an expert, and maybe this is showing up as a very direct objection or an indirect objection, they're not going to trance, they're not having their therapy, whatever it is, it all comes down to content. So your content must alleviate 99% of the objections, as an example, before a client even thinks about doing a strategy call with you. And this, again, was the same type of attitude I had with my therapy as well. And I talk to my students about this as well when I used to teach hypnosis, and hopefully it's starting to make sense for them now, is I like to do the therapy and finish the therapy before the therapy is actually begun. And what I'm really saying at a logical level, I want to get rid of all my clients' objections on the survey, the strategy call, During the investigation phase, once they're sitting in front of me, it's the very first thing I do. We call this a strategic hypnotic interview to find out all the motivation, what's going on inside a client's head, all the connections, all that sort of stuff. I want to get rid of all of that muddy water before I actually get into the quote unquote hypnosis and therapy. So guys, really what this video is about is showing that if you're selling hypnosis and you're getting objections, those two things are equal. One is causing the other. A quick way to get past of pretty much all the objections you'll ever have to handle is to start selling results. If you're unsure how to do that, just start watching all the videos on this YouTube channel. We have hundreds of videos talking about that subject as a whole in many different variations. But also realize as well, your survey, your strategy calls, and your content should be taking care of all of those issues as well. Last, but definitely not least, if for some reason your content is on point, strategy calls are on point, your surveys are on point, but you're just finding not necessarily that your clients are skeptical, but they're a little bit resistant. It seems like they're resistant to go into trance. They're resistant to go into some sort of change work. They're resistant to get their therapy completed. What I'm going to do, like always, I'm going to leave a link below, guys. And I created a hypnosis training program many years ago when I had my own conversational hypnosis training academy. It's how to work with very resistant clients. But it's under the premise that a client is already sitting in front of you. And if you take care of what I just talked about now, you shouldn't have to worry about the resistance later or the skepticism later. But if somehow this person sort of wiggles through all your other surveys and your strategy calls and your content, and you do find them being very resistant to what you're trying to do, check out that free program. It's in a OneDrive link. You can download the link. It's a couple of hours worth of content. It is an MP3, it's not an MP4, but in a couple of hours, I'll show you every move you can make to working with resistant clients. So if you put all of this together, guys, you'll never have to deal with skepticism, price objections, guarantee objections, or any sort of resistant client. So guys, hopefully that makes sense. Go and check out that training. It's free. You have lifetime access to that. And like always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me personally. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram. Again, Scott Jansen, you know who I am anyways. Look for the guy with the big glasses. Go check me out there, send me a friend request, and that way you can stay in touch with me, but also see all of our other free content as well. Hope you liked the video, guys, and that's it for me for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.